You're at an event attended by Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, and Elon Musk, so it's really hard to stand out. So what's a girl, or in this case, a first lady, to do? Coming up next, I have the answer to what Melania Trump did to make a statement today at the inauguration and the cringy dig that resulted from that classy statesman, Donald Trump. It can be said that Melania really used her head today to stand out among the crowd at the inauguration, and my first thought was Zorro. Others saw icons like The Mask, Spy versus Spy, and others turned to fast food with comparisons to the Hamburglar and my personal favorite, the Pizza Hut logo. And with the internet lighting up with chatter about Melania the Mad Hatter, the capital city chapeau wasted no time in establishing itself with at least 3 profiles on X, and it is certainly weighing brand deals and influencer opportunities. The appearance of the headwear was not lost on our new head of state, Donald, and I will have his interesting words in just a minute. But first, I want to give you some context, and since my fashion world is limited to picking the color t-shirt I'm going to wear each day under my sweater, I'll refer you to E! News for a breakdown on the First Lady's very shady hat choice.
Melania Trump makes a bold fashion statement with her hat at the 2025 inauguration. The First Lady dressed to impress as her husband Donald Trump was sworn in as the 47th President of the United States at the 2025 presidential inauguration on January 20th. For the occasion, Melania arrived in an Adam Lippes custom double-breasted navy blue silk wool coat and matching pencil skirt. She topped off the look with a wide-brimmed voter hat featuring a simple white band by Eric Javis. As for how this fashionable moment came together, Adam Lippes shared in a statement January 20th ahead of the ceremony. The tradition of the presidential inauguration embodies the beauty of American democracy, and today we had the honor to dress our First Lady, Mrs. Melania Trump. Mrs. Trump's outfit was created by some of America's finest craftsmen, and I take great pride in showing such work to the world. Meanwhile, Eric revealed that the 54-year-old's bold accessory had a major mishap while being shipped from Miami to New York last month. He told Women's Wear Daily in an interview published January 20th, "I guess the hat arrived all crushed. It looked like it had been sitting in snowdrifts for about a week. Obviously, I had to scramble to redo it. It couldn't really be repaired because of the construction of it. As he put it, it was a little bit of a cliffhanger. However, the designer was able to produce a brand new one that was taken back to Melania by her trusted stylist, Hervé Pierre, who was in Florida at the time." Eric added, "He had a driver, and Hervé took it back to her by hand to minimize any other disasters that could possibly happen." Following the handoff, the hat remained out of sight until she arrived at the White House, where she and Donald greeted President Joe Biden and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden. Eric revealed, "No other hands touched nor did any other eyes see the hat prior to Hervé and the First Lady receiving it." As Melania arrived at the inauguration, the internet started to draw parallels between her hat and Carmen Sandiego's iconic accessory and trench coat. As one user wrote on X, "I found where in the world Carmen Sandiego is." Another wrote, "Carmen Sandiego was at the White House this whole time." And another added, "Great news, they found Carmen Sandiego."
By now, you must be curious about what the Commander-in-Chief had to say about the First Lady's lid. After all, the simple math tells us that Donald Trump is infinitely more likely to call a woman nasty than pay her a compliment. Have a listen and judge for yourself if he got in her head with this backhanded comment.
I shouldn't say this. I'm going to get hell when I say this, but her feet are absolutely aching. You know, those heels. And we thought we were leaving. We were going home. "Sir, would you be able to go down and say hello to some of your other fans that are here?" I said, "Oh, I didn't know that. Wow." I said, "Honey, let me just see how far it is." I asked the person. "Oh, not that long, maybe 400 or 500 yards. That's 5 football fields." And then we went out to the helicopter, though, just prior to this, and said goodbye. And it's a custom, and the wind is blowing like crazy. And with the hat that she's wearing, she almost blew away. We almost lost off her. She was being elevated off the ground. She almost blew away. No.
Now, this is usually where I insert my analysis, but since this wasn't exactly a heady topic, I'll forgo that in favor of supporting the field day that social media and even traditional media is having with Melania's fashion choice, including this hilarious theory that Australian News has about Melania's protective headgear.
It wouldn't be a Trump event without an awkward Melania moment. Donald Trump has been sworn in as America's president for the second time, but it was his wife Melania who had people talking. The incoming First Lady wore a custom silk wool Adam Lopez coat and skirt, and a matching wide-brimmed hat that covered up most of her face. It was a dark contrast to the 2017 inauguration, where she wore this iconic powder blue Ralph Lauren dress. So why such a big change? The hat wasn't just a style choice, it also served a practical purpose, as you can see here. Yep, Trump went to kiss his wife and fell several inches short of her face, leaving the pair to air kiss instead, and leaving viewers wondering whether this was the real reason behind Melania's fashion choices this time around.